checking in no bag, shopping when we land. Big FN bag of ballin'. Plead the fifth if I get caught, they talk. Came through dripping on them, I been saucing.
So in today's video, I'm going to be going over and answering a question that everyone always asks, and that is trading really harder than any other skill in the world? And when I say any other skill in the world, I'm gonna say majority of other skills in the world, because yes, there are some skills that require PhDs like doctors to get, and I'm not gonna actually say it's harder or not harder than those kind of degrees, because you require different types of knowledge and different types of things. But let's just say, as a generalization, is trading harder than any other skill to master? Let's answer this question today, and I'm gonna give you my point of view and reasons as to what I think and why. And my short answer is yes, it is, because it requires a steep learning curve. Plus, you do not see results until the very end of that learning curve. And because of this, therefore, majority of traders fail. 90% because they also quit. So the part of 90% statistic of traders failing is also including people that are failing, which I think a lot of people don't consider or realize, but it's considering traders are also just quitting within the first few months, which is part of the 9% statistic. So yes, it is, because there's a steep learning curve and you truly do not see profits and consistent results until you finish that learning curve. And let's go over what I mean by learning curve. There's two main components of successful trading, and I'm gonna break it down to you guys. Number one is a proven profitable strategy. That is the number one thing you need. You need to understand how to read price and technical analysis, which is what I teach in a course in mentorship, and why I stress how important it is, because if you can do that, you're golden. The next thing is also a thing a lot of traders struggle with, which is psychology. So these are two main components that make someone a successful, consistently profitable trader. Now, how can you... So first of all, number one is easy checked off, right? Because there are many different types of strategies. Majority, I will say, they just don't work well consistently, because the profit factor and expectancy value is way too low. It's near zero, which is not good at all, because during live conditions, you will have spread and commissions, and making any psychological mistakes will ruin that system. So you want to find a rare, proven, profitable strategy. After that, you just need to work on your psychology, which means your live executions. And this is mainly just discipline, following your trading plan, only taking trades within your predefined setup and strategy. That's all psychology is. And obviously there's other things that are related to psychology, like trade management, or I would say risk management, because what happens is people sometimes they over leverage, right? And that is messing up their risk management, because you cannot risk 1% per trade, then you risk 3% the next trade, then de-risk 0.5% per trade. You can never do this, and the reason why is very simple. It's not letting the law of large numbers apply. If your third trade is the winner, then your winner is only 0.5%. If you're trading a 1-to-1 risk reward and your loss was minus 4%, you truly do not know with certainty which exact sequence of trades will be winners, which ones will be losers. Therefore, it is highly recommended to always follow a consistent risk management system. And that's where over leveraging and deleveraging comes into play, which is really psychology. So from here, you guys can understand there are two main components of trading, and that you cannot become a consistently profitable trader unless both components are met, meaning both components are satisfied. You need to have a great psychology, following your plan and discipline, and a working strategy. Those two things will make you go very far, especially if you're compounding your personal account. You can get payouts, put them into your personal, compound that. trust me, it'll grow very, very big. You just need to trust time and let time play out. So you can see these are two main components, and these components are extremely hard, right? And the main reason is people have different learning curves in terms of number two. Number two, I'll say, is the main thing. Number one, people can learn at somewhat of a similar consistent rate. But number two, which is psychology, is something that's extremely variable from person to person. Trading helps really uncover who you truly are on the inside, and you would realize this when you start trading, or if you're really deep into trading, you will really unlock and figure out who you are as a person, and it will make yourself question yourself as well. But that's why you need to understand that psychology is the main variable that's very inconsistent amongst people. This is why some people take 5 years to get profitable or never see profitability, because they can never fix their psychology, even with a working system. Or other way around, they're very good psychologically, but they never had a working trading system backtested proven that's profitable and has an edge. Therefore, they're in this endless loop of never hitting profitability. So you're either in loop number one or loop number two. Keep it that simple. That's it. And this is why it's harder than any other skill to master, because you need both of these components 100% to become consistently profitable. It's not something like, for example, becoming a doctor, where you learn, right? You learn the strategies. We'll just call them strategies. Obviously, you guys know what I mean. You learn, get the degree, and you learn knowledge, right? Either through memorization, practice, things like that. But there's not much of a psychological component to it. It's nowhere close to how much it matters in trading, at least. For example, if you're pro athletes, extremely skilled at their sport, right? NBA, NFL, you guys get the point. They train their whole lives for this. However, they also have extremely good mentality. They're very competitive. They have the spirit of not giving up and being very disciplined, and they have that killer instinct. A good example would be like Kobe. Without his mentality, he would not be performing to the same level he did, right? So that's why psychology is a thing in almost every single industry. It's just the problem is psychology matters a lot more in trading than it does in all these other industries. For example, you cannot become a pro athlete just off having very good psychology, right? You need both of these, obviously, but the main thing, the main emphasis is really the skill set, right? If you need number one, just like how in trading you need a profitable strategy. However, in NFL or NBA or pro sports or anything else really, you do not necessarily require that mentality or psychology. It's not a huge requirement. You're not required to have an extremely good mentality in order to become successful as a pro athlete. Most do, but it's not a requirement. It's not necessary. Just like any other field. You work at 9 to 5, it's not a necessity to get your paycheck or make money because you're good psychology. But in trading, it's different. This is 100% required, and so is number one. Both these things are necessary to become consistent in trading. And that's why I used to say 80% strategy, 20% psychology, but I'm gonna take it back because from face value, that might sound a little messed up, okay? This is how it is, truly. It's 100% strategy first. If you're a beginner, intermediate, it's 100% strategy. After you master how to read price through strategy, meaning I can show you a chart and you can immediately tell me what your setup, entry, exit, how you manage trades are, in your system and rules, then it's 100% psychology from that point on to follow that system, follow those rules, follow that strategy that you backtested that truly works in the market. It's just a lot of people cannot do that. A lot of people cannot follow, and they self-sabotage because they're trying to get rich quick. And unfortunately, it's a never-ending loop, okay? You're not gonna ever become profitable if you're gonna put yourself in that stuck loop of not being disciplined or not waiting patiently to take your setups and things that you predefinedly spent time working on, right? If you spent all this time working on a profitable strategy, but you're not executing your strategy the right way, that you backtested, it's a completely different data set of wins and losses and risk reward, and therefore you're skewing your results and you're just gambling at that point because you don't know the results of those random trades you're putting in. You see price going up, you buy, you see price going down, you sell. So this is the main breakdown, honestly, of the difference between trading, why it's harder than any other skill to master in life. One more thing actually to bring up here before we end this video. Another main difference between trading and majority of other careers, when I say careers, I'm not going to say like NBA, because playing NBA or pro sports in general is not guaranteed. It's a very low chance. But majority of careers, for example, the ones that require a college degree to get, majority of times, as long as you put in time and effort, it's a pretty high odds of landing that position and making that money, because that's consistent income coming through. But in trading, there's no set timeline of you have to learn trading for 4 years and then graduate with the certification and then start making money. It's all based on your own timeline. Everyone has a whole different timeline, and you can truly shorten this timeline by learning from the right person, the right mentor. So that's shortening the strategy part, right? But the other part of the timeline you need to shorten is mastering yourself. If you can't master yourself, your timeline is infinite, essentially, until you master yourself. So you are the person setting your timeline. No one else can control it for you. It's up to you at that point. Me as a mentor, I can only teach you the profitable strategy that I have proven edge. That's very profitable, by the way. It has an expected value of around 1.8. It's extremely good. If you can follow that system, you'll easily be able to make 6-7 figures and beyond. If you can master your psychology and focus on trading those setups that I teach you guys only. Do not take any other random trades or setups outside of the proven edge that I've given you guys. So you can see this is the difference. One more last thing before I end the video. Pro athletes, I'm pretty sure the statistics was something like, I just know it was extremely low. It was probably, I think it was 0.1% or lower, make it to the pro leagues. And I think this was specific from the NBA. So if 0.001% of high school basketball players made it to the NBA, but 10% of traders are profitable, the statistics of being profitable in the market, it doesn't seem as bad as everyone makes it look like. 10% is still a great percent compared to these other industries that are paying the same, if not less money, because in trading, it's almost infinitely scalable to an extent, right? If you're hitting 9 figures, obviously you're not going to be putting on a 9-figure position. You're going to be moving the market likely. But to an certain extent, at that point, I'm sure you would not care that much, right? You'd probably invest in many other things if you hit 9 figures already in trading. There's just no need to continue trading at that point. You could just invest it or live the rest of your life just chilling. But this is why the statistics are not that bad for traders. You just don't understand the statistical chance of you even being alive now is extremely low, and you made it, obviously, so I would say that's not a valid argument. But the statistical chance of many other things, like getting into a good college, for example, maybe an Ivy school or some really good college, top 10 college in your country, is like 5%, 5 to 10% acceptance rate, and those are the smartest of the smartest people. So you can see 10% is not a bad percent, taking into consideration that a lot of people contributing to the 90% are just gamblers coming in trying to get rich quick and not real traders like us. That's it for this video. Make sure to join the free Discord on the website. I'm going to be looking forward to seeing a lot of you guys in that Discord server for free, as well as the mentorship and course if you're interested in exponentiating your learning process and your learning curve and shortening that timeline, because I also have a complete section on psychology as well to give you guys actionable steps to take to help improve your psychology. These are actual steps where you can actually implement them and follow them to improve your psychology rather than just talking about psychology, right? Show the math behind all my stuff. And that's it for this video. I'll see y'all in the next one.